This is around the time where I wish I had an intro, like a little on the radio where it's like, welcome to whatever. I wish I would have had one of those for this one.
Well, we didn't see what's his name last week, man. We couldn't at the con. We couldn't have him do it.
Oh, what's his name? Goku's voice guy. Goku's voiceover guy. No, we didn't see him. I wish.
You guys went to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Yeah. Complaint, man. I didn't see enough cosplay hoes, and the ones we did see, they're ugly.
Aww.
I cannot confirm.
At least they
nor
tried.
deny.
No, they didn't. Not try hard enough. I want to see like ass cheeks hanging out.
Ruben's like, I want to see some tete walking around. You see a little bouncy bounce,
That's why they have strip clubs for that.
We gotta do that. That's where we should have done the podcast. That was
podcast number 100. Okay, that would have been kind of funny. Come on, it would have been like, excuse me, can you get your ass cheeks out of my face? I'm trying to talk about respectable shit.
No, keep going.
Ruben's over here getting a lap dance. Ruben's like, oh, I'm getting lightheaded.
Oh, jeez.
It's been so long since anybody's touched me. I felt warm.
It's like that meme, the one where it's like, oh, when a girl touches you and it's like a glue bottle and it's just like oozing out of the.
Oh.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is podcast number 100, and we have Mystery Girl with us.
Hey.
When we started doing this, like, it's not like I was like, oh, we'll never hit 100, but 100 came quick. 100 came quick, dude.
I mean, it's been a long time.
That's 100.
Like a minute man quick. You know what I'm saying? It came quick.
Long time.
Came quick.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 3 strokes quick.
Nice pun there.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You know
what song is this, dog? Is this Frozen?
That's what I'm trying to hear.
Let it go. Is that how it goes? Let it go.
Yep, just like that.
Oh, they finished. One of them finished.
Oh, there was a car parked behind us, and they were just parked there. And I think they got done doing some fingering, and then just now they're dipping.
I mean, unless they're hotboxing in that car, then...
I didn't see any smoke. I hope not, because they're parked behind me. That means they're going to just slam on my car. Fucking go through my back seat and shit. I'm like, fuck. I got to claim this on my insurance now. I got to Uber home. Maybe that's...
At least you could cash it out, though.
Cash what out?
Like if somebody hit your car.
The insurance will cash you out if it's bad.
Wouldn't that be insurance fraud? Or if there was an actual accident that happened, then you could cash out on your car. And then you would be in debt. I had a friend once that did that. He hired somebody to steal his car and go set it on fire in Mexico.
That's hilarious.
And they found his car, and he didn't come back insurance fraud.
No, because whoever he hired was a goddamn professional, and they went above and beyond. They went to Mexico, and they lit it on fire there. If you're lazy, you're going to go to the desert here out in the middle of nowhere, and you just light it up.
Well, and I'm assuming because when he told this story, he's like, I guess he had to pay quite a bit of sum to this other person.
So it wasn't even worth it?
Huh?
So it wasn't even worth it for him to go through this trouble?
I mean, it kind of was because he was already about to fall on the car, if that makes sense. Like, he didn't want to pay the payments anymore, and it was just too much, so it would snowball into another car. So
yeah, cars are such a fucking waste of time. You got to pay them off. That's what I tell you all the time, dude. You keep trying to fucking look at cars, and I'm like, dude, you need to chill, save some cash, and try to pay that bitch off as quickly as possible. Because having a car that you don't own, like, you get molested by the insurance companies. like the moment that your car's value drops below what you still owe on it, it's a certain level of depression that kicks in when that happens. You're just like, God dang it. Like, you just upside down on it, and you're like, I could walk away from this, but now I gotta get fingered by the interest rate every month. And then also I still gotta get freaking I still gotta like know that if I steal it or sell the car, like, I'm still gonna have to pay for that thing. Gotta just pay off the car, dog. 100%. 100.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just going to try to keep going until it explodes. Hopefully it don't explode.
It won't. If it's taking you everywhere right now, it's taking you out of clear BFE for you to go look at Pops. It'll be fine.
It hasn't been 120 yet.
Oh, you'll be fine. Just keeping an eye on that temperature gauge, dog. You'll be fine.
It's gone up a little bit already.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Have you been keeping an eye on the fluids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, keep those fluids regulated, dog. Top them off every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're very distracted by this movie that's going on in the background.
I'm looking at the water. It's very pretty.
Oh. Anyways. So what's going on, guys? Podcast number 100. That came up quick. One would say Minuteman quick. See, that would have been
That's
a better.
100 episodes.
That's 100.
Of growth.
That's 100 hours of debauchery. Who said we couldn't do a
Jeez.
podcast?
Do you even remember
Nobody.
your first episode?
It was terrible. It was terrible. Well, I do remember it because the very, very, very first episode, we actually had a video component attached to it. We did it in the green room.
Sure.
And the only reason I know this is because I have him in a playlist.
Yeah.
And every time I got to go back, and this is too much information, but every time I got to go back and copy and paste certain things for
Okay.
the videos, like that's the first one in the playlist. So every time.
So what was the topics that you guys talked about on that
I
first
don't
episode?
think it was cream
computing?
pies. I'm almost certain it
I
wasn't.
don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. I
I
have to
think
go
that
back.
morphed
Was
into
it put the pussy on a pedestal?
It could have been. You know what? Maybe I'll spend a little bit of time and research that real quick.
Maybe it was cream
Should
pies.
have done it before. Just kidding. Okay.
Damn. She's talking shit about our abilities to podcast. After 100 episodes, you think that she'd be
I think
more
you guys should be
confident
on your
on another
shit by
level.
now.
I am on top of shit. Speak to Mr. Wait till last minute for shit guy over here.
I got my topics down. I only have two.
Ooh.
You only got two? For our 100th episode, you only got two?
Yeah.
How dare you, sir?
You have.
I got a lot of them.
My topics are long and wide.
Yours?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. As long as there's something. Podcast number 1. Yeah, look at you. You're pretty good. Podcast number 1 is Puss on a Pedestal. And then we talk about Ronda Rousey's dominance, which is no longer applicable. And,
She's no longer
oh, dude,
serving.
we talk about vascular fist. Remember that?
No.
that mean?
Where we went ahead and associated a vascular fist, because that's around the time where I was losing weight, I think, and I associated vascularity in the fist to like a really hard erectile penis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking
So
about
we
it.
started off.
We started off strong.
Just
Podcast number
terrible.
1, dog.
How many views does that have, by the way? Like 2?
Like 1.5. I don't know how it does it 1.5, but it's good.
Crazy.
No, I mean, it's got pretty good thumbs up for the fact that it's our first podcast.
Hey, man. Kidding.
But then, we did number 2, which almost was like a me ranting about the YouTube fitness community because they're all a piece of shits. And then video number 3 was like kind of a throwaway podcast where you turn on the brightness of the screen, where we talked about like video games on a road trip. Do you remember that?
Oh, man.
That wasn't a good. That one was so mediocre that I don't even
years
think I re-uploaded that to the iTunes account.
That was years ago.
Then we did the 50 Shades of Grey podcast. Remember that?
Oh, man.
The
that was
companion
good.
Oh, when
podcast.
you guys were like
Watching it,
yeah,
and then we were commentating it.
That was hilarious.
That was good
That
if
was
you
bad.
if you had time.
to sit
to
and
sit
try
down.
to sync
Yeah.
up.
You had to sync it, but then also like to watch a whole movie while we talk about it. And I think the best parts are when we're watching sex scenes and we get weird about it, or we're just like, that's bullshit,
you're
or
just like,
whatever.
Oh man, on the inside you're like, I wish I could have done that.
I wish I would have been able to just take her down in one stroke like he
Wish
did,
that was
apparently.
me. Yeah.
That dude's fucking. Anyways. Yeah, and then it kind of all, spiraled from there. We got into Black Friday tips.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
I did a podcast by myself where I ranted apparently for an hour about fucking motivated results and fitness shit. And then we started getting into other stuff like Game of Thrones and talking about avoiding the police and how we rule the streets and all kinds of shit. And then it just kind of continued to debauchery from there. Attractive female tattoos, rap game, the McChicken. Remember the McChicken?
Dude, I don't remember.
Remember the
anything I
McChicken?
That's
say.
so gross.
You remember that?
I do.
The guy that was fucking the McChicken?
Oh,
took
I
a-
do remember.
Yeah! See?
The
I do
breaded
remember.
chicken
Yeah.
on his weenas.
Yeah, podcast number 13. That's some throwback shit.
Dude, that's years
And then
ago,
Mystery
man.
Girl came in at podcast number 14. That's what it was, men versus women with Mystery Girl.
There's been a lot of growth since that one.
Number 14. Holy
Dude, my
shit.
whole viewpoint on that podcast is
Has
completely
changed?
opposite.
Yeah, well, that means you're growing as a person, right? Like as long as
I
you're
guess.
changing your viewpoints. That's a problem sometimes when you get into like with politics where people like run on a certain stance and they're like, I'm pro fucking guns, right? Which is a bad example. That's a bad example. Let me go back. I am pro fucking Proposition 95. What the fuck that means? And then later on, the politician finds out more about the variables that are associated with that proposition, and then later on, he's got to run based on what his initial thoughts were, because otherwise people are going to think he's flip-flopping on shit. Where it's just like, isn't it part of our nature to learn more and then maybe possibly change our minds about things? But politicians are so fucking full of shit. They have to be rigid on their thoughts because they've already campaigned with a certain thing. Certain the word's escaping me. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. A certain side. And then that kind of puts us in our 18s and 20s, dog. We did a lot of UFC commentaries and predictions.
Yeah, man, because we had a place we were going to. They gave us good food. It wasn't complete shit like it is now.
Well, I think the girls that listen to the podcast probably don't appreciate those. They're probably like, whatever, on the YouTube or the UFC shit. They're like whatever.
I don't know. Do we got any
Yeah,
feedback
we don't
about
give a
that?
Well, you know, it's so funny because you guys always talk about feedback, and I forget to tell you guys because I keep telling them that they just need to like DM you or like
Yeah.
email you guys, but they just won't.
You know what?
Do
On
it.
number 100 right now, we're gonna set up an email. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up.
Set it
an
up
email.
right now. Not right now, because
now.
you're gonna be too fucking
I'm
distracted.
gonna make a note so I can do it later because
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget.
And then we'll make it so Mystery Girl manages it, just
Yup.
so y'all don't
It's
get
more easy.
self-conscious
Yeah,
about
well, you
it.
know, I think they have a hard time like reaching out, and this is just me kind of reaching here, but
All right.
maybe it's because you guys are males.
Sure, reaching.
Okay, maybe.
That's reaching, but no, they have some comments on
All right,
that.
let's see.
But I will tell you, anytime you guys talk about UFC or games or movies, they skip through it.
They're like,
They want the juicy
Damn, I'm
stuff.
sorry, chicks. I don't just fucking
Hey,
go
pie
balls
and
deep.
walk
Yeah.
away. Pie and
I'm
walk.
only one person. I don't just pie everybody I see. I do have other hobbies. It's not just going raw and I don't know. Also going raw. Apparently, I'm
You're
sorry.
like, don't get me wrong. I love
do
the
like
pie,
going raw.
but
well, it's because I turned them on to this other podcast. It's called
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. I was like, yeah, tell me more.
Guys We Fucked.
Yeah.
The Guys We Fucked
Okay.
podcast.
That,
Yeah.
that podcast has gotten so big. It's like two chicks talking about
All right,
their.
we can't tell you anything about the guys we fucked.
Oh gosh. No.
So you're listening to the wrong
No,
podcast.
but it was really funny because I started listening to that podcast like 2 years ago, but they would just interview guys that they actually slept with. Or
Oh, they interview guys they slept with?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep. So they had a huge list of it.
Damn.
Would it be
Huge
weird?
list.
Yeah, these girls are kind of slutty.
All right, we gotta change.
So-
Damn, that's
All
fucked
right,
up.
we're gonna start.
Slutty?
We're gonna start another.
No, one of those girls annoys the fuck out of me.
We're gonna start another podcast called "Girls We Finger Banged."
And then we could just come over and be like, all right, how would you rate our
would
ability
you-
to flick
yeah.
the bean? Or
Oh, jeez.
How would you-
you
But
rate my
honestly,
ability?
would you guys really want to know? Because I will tell you
Wanna
what
know
I've
what?
heard on the Guys We Fucked when they're like, "So how was I in bed?" And they're like, "Yeah, it wasn't that good." And they're like, "What?" So it's
the
like
guy
a
said
whole-
that the girls weren't that
yeah,
good?
there was a couple guys that was 100% honest, and they're like, "Yeah, it wasn't that good. I've had better." Or the girl would tell the guy like, "Yeah, you sucked." and
As a
I
woman,
faked it.
would you have a harder time hearing a guy say you weren't good in bed, or like, oh, I shouldn't ask you this because then it's gonna put you in a weird position. All right, I want to ask you this.
Ask me it. I'm curious.
I'm. You don't have to answer this. You don't want to answer this.
Okay.
Is it more insulting for a guy to tell you you're not good in bed,
Okay.
or being like you are terrible at giving head?
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is
but
there
I had
one
to pick
insulting?
one.
You had to pick one. Like, what's more insulting? You had to pick one. All right, you don't have to answer it. Anyways, so what else happens? Like, the guys go up to him and they're like, "You guys are terrible at having sex."
No, I mean, like, there was a couple guys on there that they basically said that, the girls that are interviewing them, they thought, oh, it was an amazing sexual experience, and then they actually get them on the podcast, and the guys has a completely different viewpoint. So it's just so funny because everybody has a different perception of their own reality.
Right. Well,
And-
also some people are very into certain things, and some people are not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and one of the girls, I guess, was giving head incorrectly. She would just kind of lick
Like a lollipop,
the penis like a lollipop.
like a fucking ice cream cone.
Yeah, instead of putting her whole mouth on the penis. And anyway, so she didn't know this until like way later on, and then
How
some
old are these
guy
girls?
she's like 30, 32, or she just turned 30.
And nobody's
the other
corrected
one's-
her in 30
No.
years, huh?
No, and she's like, I'm so good. So when she learned that she
I'm
was
so
sucking the dick wrong, and a guy's like, you're supposed to actually like put your whole mouth over the penis and suck and like, like give head or whatever. And she's like, oh my God. So it was so funny because none of the guys they interviewed ever said anything about it. And she would always brag like how good her head game was. And it took one dude to be like, that's not how you give head.
And now she no longer gives head to
And
anybody.
so she's like, but now I'm like afraid because is my teeth scraping it? Like, am I doing it wrong? Or, I don't know.
A duck. So there was something like creeping up behind you, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's a fucking duck. I thought it was like a mountain lion or some shit. I was like, what the fuck is that thing?
That's funny.
It's a fucking duck. Anyways, yeah, sorry.
Fine. Yeah, so it was really interesting because, I think especially too, and we've talked about this previously, and I can speak for, a couple of ladies I know, but because for women with our sexuality, it's more taboo. So trying to learn these things is very interesting. So most of the learning stuff comes from guys we've been with.
That makes sense.
And it sucks that she's been through so many partners and none of them ever taught her or corrected her in a gentle.
But what about other girls? You guys talking about stuff? You girls talking amongst each other?
Wait, what?
What about like you said
Yeah.
the only way you learn is by guys telling you stuff.
Right.
But what about you girls like as a whole? Why aren't you girls like discussing stuff?
Well, I think I'm talking mostly if a young female under the age experiences stuff. So a lot of it you don't really talk to your friends about because you feel like you're
I guess,
like
but
they're
I can
not
picture,
in the same boat.
I could picture some girls that are probably way super comfortable talking about stuff. And so there's probably some girls. I think it depends on the girl, right?
Yeah, I guess.
As
So.
some girls are probably gonna go to you and be like, "I was knobbing on this dude's knob for 30
just
hours."
kind of backtracking. I'll give a tiny glimpse in my history and stuff. When I was like 14, I was learning certain things, and the girls in my grade didn't do that kind of stuff. So I couldn't even relate to anybody or ask questions on things. So it was really hard. And for guys, you're praised and you're like, it's kind of easy.
Well, it's not easy, but I think it's more taboo. When we talked about this a million times, like it's more taboo for what the fuck's up with your shoulder, dog?
Fucked it up.
Been beating it up too hard?
No.
You just fucking long stroking?
No.
Didn't stretch out before?
Heavy lifting.
Gotcha. Gotta get in.
Heavy lifting them girls.
You know what I'm saying? Were you doing that position where you try to hold her up for like 69 while you're standing
No.
and you held it for too long?
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? No?
I'm into those BBWs, they're too big.
Oh my
to do
God.
that. They gotta hold me up.
Ruben's like, I'm into
Jeez.
squashing. I just realized.
No.
Yeah. They gotta hold
That's
me up.
gross. Oh,
Ruben's like, I don't want to breathe.
Ah!
I
Choke
mean,
me, mommy.
There you
That
go.
was funny.
Yeah, choke me with your lower region. I want to just fade into darkness.
You're like, I want a tunnel vision and then come back.
I'm about that emo life always at all times.
Crah.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
Ruben's update, apparently. So, I get it. The Girls We Fucked is a good podcast. And
It's great.
They've marketed themselves very well.
And I will say, like, I kind of wish this material was available to me when I was just starting out
No.
in my own. I really honestly
because
do.
those girls are also a little kind of screwbally.
Why is that? Because they sleep with guys?
No, because they're screwbally in the way they look at things. I haven't listened. My only experience with those girls are when they went on the Joe Rogan podcast. And-
Jesus Christ.
And one of them was annoying as shit. And the other one, like they're just
Looked
kind of
like
like whiny. How old are they?
30 and 33?
They're kind of like whiny and kind of like, eh.
Well, they're
There's nothing against their
they're the
promiscuity.
classic feminist. One is a very
Also
solid
fat.
to.
Look like Wells.
No,
one
of,
is. Oh,
one-
I knew it.
one of them is. The other one, she's all right. She's actually not that bad looking. She's got
I
big
have no
boobs and
problem
nice
with.
butt.
See that right there? The information tells me, dudes will bang anything.
Dudes will bang it. We talked about this 2
Yeah.
podcasts ago.
Anything
Like-
with a meat
There's
cake.
just proof. Just proof.
Well, not necessarily, no.
Bang anything.
Okay, so, all right, fine,
Go.
anything.
Go for it.
What
Name it.
if you open her prize chest, and there's scallops on the outside of her vagina walls, and they look like.
Hold on, you lost me at prize chest. I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
You open up your peach. You open up the
Yeah,
peach.
the peach. You know what I'm
Open
saying?
it up. Look, I'm already down there.
And you wouldn't care if she had like some issues, some like STD issues. You wouldn't care.
Okay, well, obviously that.
I mean, some guys do it. They're like, "Fuck it, I'll put a condom on."
See, look, there you go. Some guys would do it.
Oh, shit.
But see, you just
Any
proved your own
person-
point.
I
You just
know
proved
I
his
did.
point. Yeah, you just proved his point that all guys would probably do it. Some guys
Damn
would do
it.
it.
Some dudes
All
are
right,
into
I
anything.
just contradicted myself.
I just
damn
told
it.
you I want a fat hoe to suffocate me to death. Near death, sorry. So yeah. they'll
But
do
see,
anything.
that comes back to that podcast we've had a million times already. That it's that dick dumb thing. Like when you get dick dumb, sometimes you make some dumbass decisions.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you hear that saying with guys where it's like, if you want to make a really good decision, and you know you're in a bad spot, rub one out, and
Yep.
you'll be way more clear-minded.
Yep.
And it's totally true. Don't give me those eye
Absolutely true.
rolls, mystery girl,
Absolutely.
because you've
Shake
been
my head
you've
left
been
and
dick
right.
dumb at some point where you make
No.
bad decisions.
No, I don't.
Oh bullshit!
I always make
So full.
intentional decisions.
So full of
You
shit.
always make great decisions.
Always.
Always.
Not based on some
No.
bro looking dude. You don't flick the huckleberry before.
Jeez. Flick the
No.
Huckleberry Hound.
No.
That's the next fucking. That's the fucking. You know what it is? We'll get that dog, that detective dog from Looney Tunes, and then just have a fucking finger flicking him.
You guys are bad.
That's the next shirt. After all the other dozens of shirts,
I'm working on that tomorrow.
it's like the Huckleberry
Too
Hound, dog.
funny. Yeah.
Oh, you
Alright.
have him wear a shirt that says Huckleberry.
My
That's the way to do it. That's the way to go, dog. I'm like a
Uh,
t-shirt machine.
I have some proofs for you tomorrow. You go through.
Yeah, those girls. Well, so back to it. I think those girls did a great job marketing the podcast, and I think they filled a niche of women who not educating. I think it's just women who want to.
I've learned things
discuss-
from them that I had no
discuss-
idea.
Yeah, but how much of that is practical application? And how much of that is
Practical.
how much of that is like, oh, let me talk about this dumb shit I did with this guy, and I just shit on his chest.
No,
Like,
but you know what? I think what they have done with that podcast is too, and genuinely, like when guys jerk off and stuff, it's not that taboo. You kind of assume it happens, but
Yeah,
for
you gotta assume
women,
for dudes.
it's kind of awkward. Like let's say you guys had a roommate that's a girl. She has her music up, her door's closed. You're like cooking breakfast or something. She comes out flushed red. You're like, "What's up? What you doing in there?" She's like, "Oh, I just got off." It's kind of like, "Oh,
I'm like, cool.
no,
I think as a guy, I'd be like, cool, good for
Cool,
you.
Good.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd be like,
it
good
would
for you.
be
High
a
five.
moment of like
I'm like,
silence.
high five. If it's 100% heterosexual,
Really?
not heterosexual. If it's 100% platonic, I'd be
Platonic.
like, high five. I'd be like, did you wash your hand first? No, give me high five with your left hand.
That is funny.
But then afterwards, cool. But
Well,
let's face it, guys aren't going to be super platonic. So you're just going to be like, high five anyways.
so do you
want
want to go again?
No. You got to keep a boundary, though, if you have a roommate, because then otherwise it gets messy. It can get messy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think as a guy, you don't care. You're like, good for you, man. I'm starting to have more of the Californication guy as I get older. That guy's the personality where I'm just like, good for you, man. I start just being relaxed about life. Because the reality for me is like, you know, everybody's in different points of their lives at different times. And so you almost got to let people kind of work out their things and live their lives and learn their lessons. You're not going to change people. I like to think.
Right.
And maybe you can at times, but they got to want to change. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, ride the wave, man. Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
That's what I've been telling you for
It's
years.
a good wave.
You've just been telling me I've been lazy.
You have been lazy. We've been proving this. You've been about that bullshit for like 100,
Why are you
96 episodes. I want the neighbors to
like,
know.
Please
See,
stop
they're gonna
yelling.
call the-
I want the
they're
neighbors to come
It's
out
too
here and
loud.
confirm it.
They're gonna call the cops and they're gonna be like, "Hey, these minorities took this girl."
And they're making her do
Help
these
me.
things on camera.
Oh.
Then they'll get here real
Don't
quick.
exploit me like that.
They get here real quick. The movie's over and people are racing now. Dude, everywhere we go. You know what this
Everywhere.
is? You know what this is?
What?
This is the call of the streets. They want me back,
I want
dog.
you back.
They want me back owning the streets. You saw me, all right?
know.
You saw me in that
I
video
did.
game
Yep.
destroy
He whooped
motherfuckers.
ass.
Destroy
And I was
motherfuckers.
like,
You
look-
tell him.
Yep. He whooped
Destroying
ass.
motherfuckers.
And there was people that challenged him. And I looked at them with sad eyes. I'm like, why?
You don't
I was
know.
like, keep losing your money.
You guys don't
could
know.
Keep
just
losing your
save
money.
your money.
You guys don't
Run
know.
now.
I was like, you keep
You
putting money in
guys-
this machine. I'm gonna continue to get free games. I played, dude, for like a good 40 minutes.
yeah.
Those people
Like-
don't know.
I
like
put in
first
one,
place every single
I-
time.
I
It
didn't
wasn't
put
fun
any more
anymore.
money.
You're
I
just
was
like,
like-
fuck this. I'm done.
and I had a stock car too.
Those-
Everybody's on
those people-
stock cars.
Yeah.
Those people don't know.
They don't even
No,
know.
it
Next
was
week when
bad.
we get those cards,
It's over.
It was bad.
I
It's
don't
over.
want to. I don't want to use the term rape, but it might
Oh, God.
I'm about to drop like $100 on that little
Yeah.
card.
It was so
and then
funny.
just click.
Well,
Click.
and it's almost like you kind of
Click.
have to like ignore that he's playing and just like try to get second, at least second place, because you know he's gonna win.
Oh,
so
yeah, we-
I would
we
like
take
get
that
third.
I
I'd be
take
like,
it
We
super
take it
seriously.
Don't talk
My
to us
face
when we're on
changes.
there.
Like I'm like really
Don't
lighthearted,
talk
and
to
then
us
the
on
race
there.
goes, and I'm like
so funny.
tunnel vision.
No, don't talk to us when we're on there.
Oh, jeez, it was really funny.
I was
When
almost
the
about to
kid-
stand up at that last race and be like, "Who else wants some of this shit? Who else wants this?"
These kids, and there was like grown ass men. They just are like, all right, let's find something else.
Yeah, they should.
They
was
shouldn't have
funny.
challenged me. That's what I
Should
say.
know.
They
Yeah.
shouldn't have challenged me.
It was
They
good.
should have played story
that's
mode.
chill compared to back in the day. Back in the day, there was lines of people.
Dude, back in the day it was aggressive.
It
Like you know
was
how you
really?
back,
aggressive.
but you know how you were like, oh, what if somebody else wants to play?
Yeah.
You know what they used to do back in the day?
Yeah.
Like
Fuck
if
it.
no, if somebody was on the
No.
machine, they do this passive aggressive shit where they would put their card on
Yeah,
the
you
top
have
of the thing to let you know like there's somebody waiting for you.
Yeah.
And they would be like their
Oh.
card, like their carbs
it's not
card.
like- it's not
It was
like-
some
You wouldn't
passive
just,
aggressive
like, flick
bullshit.
it to make
No,
it like
no,
fall
Almost. You almost want to be like, get the fuck out of here
And
from
there
my machine.
wasn't like 5 people. This is like 20.
It was like a
people
good
deep.
3-4 people just waiting per
Jeez.
machine. Yeah.
off. Yeah, that's.
Well,
a
that's why
lot.
you get good because we were trying to hold it down.
Yeah, that's
and
a
it's
lot.
it's a little bit more difficult too when everybody's got cards and everybody's cards are at different levels. And those guys, all those guys that were playing at that time, girls right now are like, "Are you kidding me? You got sucked into the video games? What is wrong with you?" We'll end this quickly, ladies. I'm sorry, but back in the day, like everybody had different tuner cars. Like, and remember I told you, like the thing about the game is if you press the brake right before the game starts, it takes away all the cheats, so that everybody, if you get a distance on a guy, you might not ever catch him. Like the way we were playing,
Yeah.
it's set up so that if, like, let's say I get a really big head start, the game will kind of slow my car down. You won't notice it, but it'll kind of slow it down so that the other cars catch up. So it's more competitive.
Oh.
But if back in when we were playing, when we were trying to get good, everybody's like, hold on the brake. And everybody would hold on the brake, and it was like, this is for real.
Yeah, it's
We're
for
gonna fuck it up.
We're going to go to town.
Yeah.
It was competitive.
It was actually a fun game though, surprisingly.
When you get
It's
the card, I'm
super,
telling
like,
you,
tunnel-
it's
It is
addicting.
tunnel
Yeah,
vision.
it is.
really
tunnel vision.
is.
It is. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like-
because I was like, I'm gonna get first place. I always
Yeah,
got
so-
like third. I'm like,
I'm just
fuck
warning.
it.
I'm just
At
warning.
least I'm not last.
I'm just warning anybody who's going out there.
It's over.
It's over.
It's
Don't
over.
no, don't even try.
It's over.
It's a
you
fun
wanna,
game.
You want to waste your dollar? What is it? $1.50 now?
Yeah.
$2? Don't waste it.
Jesus.
Just
And
get on the
remember-
bumper cars.
And remember,
Yes. Real bumper cars. I love those.
and I'm telling you, if there were cars there, if I would have known they had cards there, and you would have gotten a card,
There is a card.
the card.
Oh, to
Remember I
like,
told
tune
you
up?
to save the car or whatever, your
Okay.
stats.
Yeah.
Like if you would have had that and you would have kept your STI, and you would have like kept on building it and gotten it faster and faster and faster, dude, you'd be so addicted. You'd be going there once a week.
Probably.
It's a
And then I
game.
would be like taking it over, and you'd be like, "Why are you here?" I'd be like, "Go home."
I'm like, I need to tune my car. I'm trying to get that
Don't
840
look at
again,
me.
860 horsepower.
Jeez.
Anyways,
Yeah, it was so much fun.
it's a addicting game.
Yeah,
It's a hell of
so
a game.
much
I beat
fun.
your ass on that buck hunting game, by the way.
Yes,
be
you
braggadocious
did,
or anything.
and it was kind of
I
it was
fucking.
weird.
By the way, I don't want to be braggadocious or anything, but I'm gonna be. I shot that fucking saber-tooth tiger between the eyes. One shot.
Did you get him one shot
Got
this
him
time?
one shot. That dude was like a dead fish.
It's really difficult the hand-eye coordination, like to
It's just like a real gun.
like chump it.
It's like a real
and
gun.
then shoot it.
You should know this, Miss
yeah,
AK-47.
say you got bump stocks.
Huh?
You got bump stocks.
I don't.
You got all kinds of illegal firearms.
I don't have a gun. I don't own
You
any
know-
weapons.
You know that bazooka you got?
I don't own weapons, guys. I don't
She's got
believe
one of
in
those
guns.
mortars
I
where
am
you drop the thing. It's like,
anti-gun.
yeah, yeah.
Anti-gun over here. You won't find them in my house. Go to the next store.
Go
to the next house.
all the
None here
serial
for
numbers
you.
are grinded off of there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez.
Don't fucks with me. Just kidding. Go to the next house.
Jeez. So what do you got, dog? What do you want to talk about this week?
I'm
Mystery
curious.
girl?
You said you had 2 topics,
yeah? 2 topics. What you got, dog?
I do. Here's oh, hold on.
I had to remove the blown out puss topic because I have no idea what I meant by that.
You
Blown
never
out
found
pussy?
What?
A blown out pussy.
Yeah.
Something like
I'm sure it was like I'm sure what
a
it was.
video you saw.
No, I'm sure it was
It's
like a
like, I won't-
punchline for something. I just don't know what the setup is.
I'm a little disappointed, man.
You know
I wanna
what?
know
You
was
gotta
about.
make better notes.
I
That's
do.
all it is.
I do have to make better nights. So what do you got, dog? What do you got?
I all right. So I got
What do you want to
2
talk
things.
about this week? I need to bring a bench out here, like I'm more comfortable.
You're on a bench.
I know. I want to like lay back.
Well, my back, like, I was sore on one side of my back from training, and I think my other back is trying to compensate, so it feels like my ribs out of place. It's not comfortable.
All right. So I got. I love how he phrases. Do hoes really listen to what song lyrics are about?
I don't think girls do. But you know what? With that being said, I don't either.
Yeah.
Like,
and then to be fair, the other part of mine thing says. It. Well.
damn,
says-
son, your phone just died on you.
No, I pressed it by accident.
Oh.
But it says on the bottom of that, it said, and for that fact, do guys listen to what song lyrics say?
You're more of a lyrics guy. I've realized that about you. I'm more of like a beat guy. Like, I like the beat. But I think chicks are typically more beat people too.
Mm-hmm.
Where you guys will be like dancing and shit and grinding
No,
on
but
something.
you know
and the
what?
guy's like
No,
369,
it's a-
panty fine.
Yeah.
Then let me
Give it
get
to me
one more time. Get
Yeah, okay.
low.
No.
Get low, get low, get low.
I think we're
To the
it's same.
window.
Oh shit! Here we go.
To the wall.
Getting
We
copyright.
lost him.
To the because I sound like Little John and wait, Little John,
Yeah,
Little Wayne,
Yeah.
Little Wayne,
Yin Yang
Little John.
twins.
Little
Anyways,
John and the East Side Boys.
yeah. These. Anyways,
Yeah.
Ah,
I
skis,
think the
skis.
girls are the same versions as males.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben's super lyrics guy though. Like he's like, oh, I'm
I
all
know
about the
you
lyrics.
are, cause I can tell what your mood is by what you share on your
His
story.
emo shitty posts on Instagram.
No, he doesn't always share emo shit. Sometimes.
No, because I was listening to
369.
you trying to go slow on me? That dude was trying
Jonathan's
to do a
got
drive-by.
depth to him.
Slow.
Can you guys hear it? The depth
Yeah, so he got deep.
to his emotions.
He's like, yeah.
Anyway.
So when I go ski, 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 I do
Oh,
the deep
Jesus
Barry Manilow.
Christ.
I get that Barry White voice. No, because I've been listening to Post Malone or whatever, and I'm like, some of these songs are really good. And other
They're
songs
dark.
Yeah, they're dark. And then other these songs are kind of stupid. But then I don't know why that idea or that topic came into my head. I'm like, maybe it's because I want to go into a club or something. I'm like, do people listen to like what these songs are about? I think because one
Yeah.
came on the radio or something.
I don't think so.
And I'm like, I think it was like the #1 song. I'm like, this song is pretty freaking raunchy. Like, do people actually like listen to what the song is?
Sometimes I can only speak for myself, but it's the same thing for you guys too. Sometimes the beats are popping and you don't care what they're saying, and then sometimes I'm like in a mood to, like today for instance, Kanye West dropped his new album and I listened
is
to
it dog shit?
So freaking good to
No.
me.
Is it?
It was really
'Cause
good.
His last 3 have been
And
dog
his
shit.
last song, the last song on the album,
Flaming.
made me cry every time I played it. Like, tears. And I'm just like, holy cow, man. Because the lyrics are so deep and he's
Come
talking
and
about his
get
daughter.
your
So it's just like
love.
crazy. So yeah, I think females listen to lyrics, but it's like,
But when you're at the club drunk
Yeah.
and drinking,
Fuck no.
you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You
no,
'Cause,
that
like, a lot of
beat's
those-
got to be hitting hard so I can,
be your
Grind on this
grind
dick.
on,
Yeah.
grind on
no,
some,
just, you
some,
know, so that way I
some
could
sweats.
just be super
Yeah.
some
excited.
sweat outline.
For that one dude who came into the club with gray sweats.
With
letting
gray
us know.
sweats, he's just letting women know where the fucking staff leans. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
The way the fucking prepackaged meat is showing. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, man. I think we got it.
the way the tree trunk is choosing to plant its root. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
thank you. I think we got it. Thanks. You got any more? You got any?
Give me a couple minutes. I'll come up with some more debauchery. That's what I do.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, I think it just depends on people and it depends on music. But I do feel like I get what you're saying where it comes down to like club music. There's a lot of derogatory songs against women, but yet women will be in the club like grinding and dancing. Ah, it's my song, you know. And it's like, okay, do you realize what that guy just said about busting your?
Yeah, but at the same
Peach open?
time, I feel like the lyrics are so low and the bass is so high, and you just are running on endorphins.
I'm such an old man. I'm like, oh, turn on your music. It's hurting my ears.
Yeah, I've seen you do that. You're like, oh, that's too loud. I'm
It's
like,
too loud.
seriously?
You do
That was level 5.
I'm gonna be that old dude from El Torino, man.
Because I'm pretty sure either one, my speakers in my car are going out, or my hearing's gotten worse. Because I have my music way too loud now.
So you're like a Post Malone fan.
Yeah, I just started. I saw him on Ghost Adventures. He was hunting ghosts, and I'm like, this is interesting. So I didn't know who he was. I heard his music. I didn't know who he was, and then I saw him on Ghost Adventures, and then I was like, I gotta give his music a try, and so then I started.
He's
Listen to
so
it.
dark, man. I
You
can't.
can't
I
get
listen to
enough.
him, and
Can't
then
get
I'm
enough.
like,
Yeah,
I want to like
yeah.
drink myself to death.
Yeah, his first album's pretty dark.
Yeah, it's real deep, real
So-
dark. But
So, yeah, but he's pretty good. He's pretty interesting. He can sing pretty good. I don't know why he raps so much. He can sing pretty good.
he can sing real well.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But yeah.
You
so I
should check out
listen
the
to him.
Kanye.
I didn't know it came out already.
It came out today. But it's really good, and it's about him being bipolar.
Is that shitty, dumb song that's not really a song
No,
actually?
it's not on his
okay,
album.
I was gonna ask.
No. Every song has a theme to it, and it's some of his lyrics is kind of confusing. Some of them it makes you uncomfortable. Like the very first song, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Kim's ass is fake.
No, it's
Kim's
like
ass is
no.
fake.
He's like, I want to kill everyone. I want to kill myself, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, but it's kind of draws you in, and it sucks you in, and then the last song will probably get you in the feels. So. Get your tissues ready, sir.
I have to listen to it this week.
Yeah.
You listen
good.
to it and tell me whether I should waste my time.
And it's so funny because there's certain songs that I listen to lyrics and I'm like, oh, I should share this with Ruben, kind of like I used to do.
Yeah.
But I choose not to because I feel weird doing that. Like, hey, listen to that. It's so good.
I'll have to listen to it this week.
It's so good.
So I'm like, yeah, that's why I do it in the week. I normally have playlists that I make, and I listen to it during the week.
Yeah.
So I'll try it this week.
Zang.
There you
Zam. Jonathan, you got
Motorcycle
anything to
fucking
add?
follow us everywhere.
Dude, there's sons of anarchy out here.
It's a beautiful night, though.
It's a beautiful night.
Little humid.
Beautiful night. You know, speaking of males, I kind of have questions for you guys.
Oh, you got viewer
Oh.
questions?
I do.
Oh,
sweet.
I'm just gonna ask you guys.
Oh,
All right,
look,
go.
this worked out great. It's
Go.
just like our future email. It all gets filtered by
Yeah,
Mystery
it's all
Girl.
info-
And now y'all women.
What should we call the future email?
Fucks with me.
Hose fucks with you. I don't think
Just
they're
kidding.
on this.
No, I don't know.
Hose ask us questions.
You don't want a super long email, do you?
Hose ask us.
Okay, I kind of want to ask Ruben first.
Go
Go for it,
I
Ruben.
don't really want.
You got
You
this.
first.
She wants my opinion, apparently.
Because
No
yours
offense.
is gonna be like, look,
Savagery.
all one stroke. All
I'm
one
gonna be
stroke.
like, yo, bro, I don't worry
What
about that.
is a condom?
High life.
What is it?
High
Okay.
life.
So I have
That's
this
just stopping
friend
the feeling. What?
that is kind of curious, which is anyway. She wants a male's viewpoint on what.
Sure, got
Okay.
water.
What do men find attractive on women physically? What is like the one? Actually, not the one thing. What are the things that draw you to a woman first physically?
All right.
I don't want your opinion yet. Like,
I already know
you
John.
overshadow it.
John's like ass. Big fat ass. That's my
Juicier the better.
juice. Yeah, it has to be big. All
Like
right.
that Coke bottle shape. You know what I'm saying? Gives me that waist grip. You know what I'm saying? Handles, baby. You know what I'm saying?
So Ruben, what about you?
Anyways, before John perverted
Like I
everything,
kind of want you to be a little bit in depth with it, not gross, because
I'm not.
I want
I
like
give
idea.
you serious answers, people.
Okay,
John's gonna give you a fucked up answer. That's why you're asking me first.
thank you.
John's thinking
Of
of his
course
fucked
I-
up
I'm
answer
thinking
right,
about it.
I
as
was
right
like,
now.
as-
He's thinking
I'm working
as
at
right
it. The
now.
brain is
Wait,
moving like
The
slow
way that
cogs.
he's laying to
Yeah,
the
he's
side.
like, oh, yeah.
I got that Deadpool pose.
Yeah,
right now
he's
where
like,
I'm
oh,
Exactly.
just wait for it. It's gonna be bad.
Too
All right.
funny. Yeah. Go.
So That's a. So that does actually depend on the person.
Okay.
But
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it does depend on the person. So everybody's gonna like something different. So me, I'm actually like, I don't, a huge ass is always great. Everybody loves that mostly.
A fat ass.
Yeah, a fat ass. That's always good.
Okay.
But like,
squashing.
yeah,
That's
I
your-
guess
that's your-
you
that's
could.
what you're into.
You
Well,
could
do you
that.
okay? So I guess let me be a little bit more descriptive. For you,
But like,
for you, yeah, go.
like when I see somebody, I'm not like, oh man, that chick has a fat ass.
Do you
I
pick-
need to hit her.
For
hit
any
her
type
on
of
her.
body shape for a woman, do you always find something attractive about them, or is it only a specific kind of girl?
No, I always just find something specific about that person. It's not like I'm going out and like, oh man, I'm only hitting on chicks with fat asses.
I see. Okay, so if you ran into this beautiful chick, however she turns around and she has like no ass, would that be an issue for you? Like no ass. I'm talking like flat as a board. You stick her up against the wall and you're like, where did she go?
It's flush.
It's flush. No curvature.
It's like two cutting boards touching
back.
each other.
Would that be a problem?
No, that's not too much of a
Really?
problem. My thing is like,
So when you're hitting it from the back, it's just
I'm
you
just
hitting
hitting
a
butt
wall.
bone.
Bone and
I think
shit.
Yeah.
John's had that problem once before, actually.
I have a story about that.
Oh shit.
Go ahead. Thanks for the
no.
reminder.
Yeah. Here to help.
Okay.
No, just as long as you have like, if I have a emotional connection with a person,
But
then I can be like,
you wouldn't care their
No.
features.
yeah.
But
But I do have to find something attractive. So if she don't have an ass, then she has to have like good tits.
what if she has neither?
Damn.
She has an amazing personality. She has a pretty face.
Well then, maybe
She's
she
got
got
everything
really
else.
good eyes. I'm really attracted by people's eyes. So maybe if she got that. Probably if she has that, then I'll be down.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
it really
so it
depends
just
on
comes
it.
down to their personality.
Yeah, for me it does a lot. Because I don't really have a type. I know dudes do have types. Like,
so you would go black, white, Puerto Rican, or
Chocolate.
Asian.
yeah, don't matter to me.
Don't matter what color.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm like Avatar. I don't care. We're all one race.
So, see, I kind of, well, anyways, what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
You want my opinion on
Yeah.
this? All right. I like a nice curvature, a nice kind of a little Coke bottle, a little shapely, right? If you're gonna, I can't even continue it. Okay, so I'm gonna be real fucking honest, all right? Because y'all getting White Knight over here giving you his thoughts on shit, all right? I'm gonna
Wow.
I'm gonna fucking
Wow.
captain over here.
You just shattered every girl's heart saying
The
that.
captain over here
Fuck.
is trying to save a hoe, but I'm gonna tell you real talk. All right, the reality is this: let's do a scenario. If I'm at Walmart, you ain't gonna notice chick's eyes from across the aisle. Let's be real honest here.
That's what I
There's
said.
gonna be something
It's
you're
true.
gonna notice
Ruben
first.
did say that.
I did say that.
You said what?
I just said what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which
but
is what?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Just keep going.
So ultimately, like, there is something that's gonna attract you to that, and
Yeah.
I think I tend to like just be more fucking primal with my shit. So yeah, there's certain things that you look at, like
Yeah.
like the attractive Coke bottle thing is a reason why that's an attractive thing, right? Like
Right.
that shape of the hips, the waist. Some guys are gonna be boob guys, some guys are gonna be butt guys, some guys are gonna be like leg guys. Some guys are really into chicks with really long legs, tall chicks or whatever. It just depends on depends on the guy. But there is something that's ultimately going to be attractive, right? Now, I think the personality has to be there after you have the initial attraction, because otherwise it's going to lead to some bad situations or just a quickie or just a one-night stand.
So, but if this woman has a banging body, you wouldn't go back to her even though her personality sucks?
So you would get with a dude. So let's say you fucking meet Brad Pitt and you guys end up hooking up and he ends up just being a fucking retard. Are you gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this going because it's Brad Pitt? Wow, look at that face. That means
Yeah,
yes.
she
Okay.
said yeah. Everybody, you can't
Like-
see it. Her face said yeah.
I think for most guys, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think most guys might until they get annoyed.
Yeah.
That's being honest.
Yeah.
Now,
Second.
I'm a goddamn gentleman and a scholar, a learned scholar, and so I think I would get annoyed first before any of the other shenanigans, because I have very little patience. Like your face there. So there you go. That's the honest truth. I think
Damn, Ruben.
I said that mostly.
you said that mostly, but then you were. I think I get what you're going with the idea that there has to be a personality. And there does have to be a personality. And if you're looking for more than just a hookup, like you're gonna want common ground and interests and all that other stuff. But let's be honest, we're still fucking monkeys, and so
Yeah.
ultimately you're gonna have to have a physical attraction. If you
Okay.
don't have a physical attraction to someone, that's gonna be a problem.
So then it kind of ties into another thing.
Or
is,
traits that you like about them.
do you think a woman can use her like sirenness, seduction to like lure them into tying them down?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm sure it's happened, and I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it could happen. And I think also the fact that women are the ones that get pregnant in the sex probably makes that, sometimes that could make it easier.
You guess that happened?
No, I'm saying like if guys were the ones that
I'm
got
kidding.
pregnant,
Okay.
and guys are the ones that stopped the birth control, then it'd be like whatever, right? But if a chick's trying to trap a dude, and let's say she's like, oh, I'm telling the pill, and the dude is dumb enough to just pie
He's
life.
like, I'm just gonna
highlight it. All of a
and
sudden,
yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And some dudes, at least the good dudes, are going to be like, oh, well, let's try to work this out for the sake of the baby. Most good dudes would have probably that response, I would assume. And so ultimately, that's the goal of the question, right? Like whether girls try to tie a dude down. I think it's happened a million times.
Well, I'm just saying, like, would you allow a girl to marry you based off of because she's the most banging woman in the world, but she has the shittiest personality?
No.
Would you? You're asking us if we would get married to that?
Yeah,
No.
but she's so fresh.
That's gonna go away though.
No,
It's fine.
That's gonna go away unless
No.
you're that one who's still fucking hot in their 50s. I think Heather Locklear is still super hot for a 50-year-old. She's still pretty hot.
okay, but
Or whatever. But for the most part, like you got to know that it's gonna go away, unless you got a lot of work done. But it's gonna go away. So and if all you have left over is a shit personality, that's not gonna last. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
come on. I almost feel like I'm trying to be in the other mindset of the other person that asked me to ask this, but so even if she had Coke bottle, big tits, real big ass, and she was just gorgeous, and she was like one of your guys' like Insta hoes that you follow.
And she's letting me pie it like every night, just raw. And I'm
Or
like,
maybe she's like, I can't have sex unless you marry me, and then we can have sex.
okay, yeah, right. The fuck?
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
think
there's the fucking door. I can't hang with that.
You wouldn't even consider
No.
like
No,
I could probably do this
No.
and then like appeal it in the morning.
No,
I don't.
No.
Look,
There's a loophole
the
there, sir.
The concept
No.
of dick dumbness doesn't apply for months on end. Do you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I can't be
like
that
it would
dick
take a long
dumb.
time to get married. It's not like it's like, oh, let's get married, and then they happen so instant, and then guys are like, yeah, I finally get to have sex.
Right.
It ends up being a bit gigantic ordeal. That would be very hard to pull off, or a very stupid guy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't guarantee you that's probably never happened, but
I'm sure it has, but
Okay, so then what makes men want to
Holy
marry women
shit.
then?
what? What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Say again.
Oh, sorry. I was asking then, since if it's not looks, then what makes men want to marry women?
Well, we've had this talk before, right? Like we've had this
we
question
did.
before, where
I don't know if we actually answered this conversation.
well, I think
or
we talked
had
about
this.
the idea about like guys fall
What
in
are
love.
they wanting in
and
a woman?
Just a lot of things. Like every dude, there's no one right answer for that. There's just a lot of.
I think, okay,
different
look,
things.
I think a lot of women, I'm saying a lot of women, but I can't speak, I hate when I say that, so I'm not going to say that, but
You speak for all women on this
Yeah,
I
podcast.
so
don't
you speak for
I
every single
don't,
woman
no,
in the
and
world.
I don't speak for
You
all
speak
women.
for the whole fan base. Say it loud. Go.
All two of you.
No, I just have a friend that is really curious on if it's like the hoe instinct that you guys find attractive that you wouldn't want to marry her, or if it's like a motherly thing.
I think
I
it
don't know.
all comes down to how much guys have thought about this. If a guy has thought a lot about this, you would think that he's gonna want, if he's looking to settle down, he's gonna want probably like a motherly instinct, because if he's looking to settle down, he might want to have kids, and he wants a wife that can, be good to the kids. If your friend is asking if guys are attracted to hoes, that's a yes. That's a reason why.
As a yes.
That's a reason why, like, there's so
As
many
any of
like
my
side
ex-girlfriends.
hoes. There's a reason why Instagram hoes are pulling in millions every year just on Instagram hoes. There's a reason why Bang Energy Drink, the sponsor of this podcast, decided to pay hundreds of thousands of
That's
dollars.
why they sent us
on
Mystery Girl here.
Yeah, Mystery Girl's gonna be the new Bang Girl. She's gonna have like ads where she doesn't show her face; she just shows her ass and tits. Yes.
Ooh, jiggle, jiggle.
You know what I'm saying?
Left
It's
cheek,
just-
right cheek.
It's gonna be like her doing squats with her face isn't showing, and then like the Bang
But I'll
Energy
make
drinks
sure
right
to
next
put
to
the
her
camera
ass.
between my legs as I
That's
squat
Yeah.
down.
exactly right. It's
That's a
exactly
new hoe
right.
thing on Instagram, which is like, all right, come on.
I know you always talk
Come
about it on
on.
here.
Come
Yeah, yeah.
on. The camera's there. I could tell you're healthy.
So then, is there anything that's unattractive about women physically that you guys are like totally not into?
When they can outlift more than John. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's a big
Whoa.
deal, right? Like that's a
like a manly chick,
Yeah.
like if she got more muscle mass than you.
muscle
Yeah.
mass, or she's better than you in like a certain area.
No, when it's just like too muscular for me. Like that's the
Like
thing.
really muscular and also very lean, like a Gabby Garcia. Would you ever hook up with a Gabby Garcia, dude?
Oh, which one is that one?
Gabby Garcia is that 6'2", 260-pound woman who fights MMA.
Okay, that's
And
too
she
much.
fights like
Yeah, I
in
remember.
Japan, where
Yeah,
they do
no.
freak matches, and you watch her and she's like, you're like, what is she doing fighting that little
That is
old lady?
so weird that you're saying that, because for a split second, I, for a short period of my childhood, lived with a friend named Gabby Garcia.
Really?
So weird. Yeah.
See
And
if I can find her. Maybe
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
looking
your
up.
friend.
no.
She's Brazilian. Is your
it's
friend
not.
Brazilian?
No, she's Mexican. And she taught me how to peel beef.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
Okay,
else.
here. I want your first impression of Gabby Garcia.
Oh,
This is Gabby Garcia
good
next
Lord,
to a
man.
man. Okay.
Okay.
oh, Jesus. Oh, good Lord.
Dude.
That's a dude, man.
That's Gabby Garcia next to a
Oh,
220-pound man. Next to a 220-pound male.
Oh.
But you know what? I can't even imagine her feeling good about herself.
I don't know, but she's.
Every woman wants a man.
Oh. I mean, there's probably people into
There's
that.
probably people into
I mean,
that. I mean,
as
she
I-
doesn't look terrible in those pictures. What he just showed me is worse than a bikini pic of her.
I mean, did he show you
Wasn't
that
that
big?
Holy shiz.
She's like
Oh, look at
250
those-
pounds. That's the only
I mean,
woman. No
That's
offense.
a big build. She's
No-
got
Oh, I
like.
thought you were gonna say
I'm-
that's a big bitch. I was like, yeah, it is. It definitely for
that's
sure
a big
is.
bitch.
No offense to Chris Cyborg. Do you know who Chris Cyborg is?
No, I don't.
She's the most dominant. She
I
is
would
the.
like to hug that chick. I'm not gonna lie.
She
I want to
is-
feel her back.
She is the most. Chris Cyborg is the most dominant MMA fighter, probably ever, and she's a 145-pound fighter, which means she probably walks around like 160-ish, 170-ish. When Gabby Garcia and her and Gabby Garcia are best friends or whatever, when they're next to each other, you're like, wow, Chris Cyborg is a super petite woman, but she's not. Like that's the big difference between the two of them. It's amazing.
Bitch looks
Like-
like Goro.
Look, the one on the left is Gabby, and the one on the right is Cyborg. You know which one
Left
Gabby
is
is.
Gabby. Right is.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what? If you had to choose one of those girls to like tie down, which would you go
Oh, good
for?
lord.
Oh man. You got a
Ruben,
picture
go
of
first.
Cyborg?
Ruben, go first.
No, I'm not doing this
Gi-
at all.
Give
Ruben.
me a picture of Cyborg.
Ruben, go first.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on,
I
we
tell
gotta
you who I'd
compare.
lock down.
All right, so
Oh man,
I
this is
would
a
go
tough choice.
if I had to pick a choice between those two girls.
You
Can
piss
you
Gabby?
guys? Oh fuck yes, I would. You know why?
Why? Because she's big and you can pretend
She
like she's a
looks
dude.
like she's got a nice ass back. Like just.
Into
She's
backs,
thick.
is that the thing?
You got a picture of Cyborg
She
yet?
thick.
All right, so that's
man.
Cyborg on the right and that's Gabby on the left.
Oh, yeah, we're going Gabby.
Here, look. Here Cyborg's wearing some makeup, so she looks a little better.
I
No.
want to see this.
No.
Cyborg's the one on the left.
No.
This girl?
That's
Yeah.
Cyborg, yeah.
Okay. And is that Gabby?
No, that's
that's
another.
another
That's a
chick.
Sorry,
100
they're showing me
MMA
pictures
fighter
of these
chicks.
girls on the.
Sorry,
All
ladies.
right.
I know this is a podcast.
Compared
so
to that one, come on.
That's when she was doing, I think, like bodybuilding physique stuff.
Okay, well, we're picking this one.
No. You can't just pick the one you want. You got to pick the what she looks like now. I'll find you a current picture of her right now. This is her making weight when she fought. Which, look, dude, she fought this older lady on the right, and she was over the weight limit by 27 pounds.
Jeez, man.
What are you guys looking at? Death behind me? Is he coming for me
Nah.
finally?
Where I parked, there was a sheriff behind my car.
Oh, probably running your plates. Anyways, that's Gabby Garcia.
That's crazy, man.
I think that for me is also like a red flag. Like I think that's a definitely no. Like I don't like grabbing a chick and then just feeling like musculature where you're like, oh geez, you're dense, aren't you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like especially when it's very lean musculature where girls are like, you know, like bodybuilder prep where you see veins, like it's just not super attractive to me. But that's just me. I'm sure there are tons of guys out there who love that shit.
No, when I was on CrocTube one time, that category.
Tube
Yeah.
porn site, I'm assuming.
Yes. It's like Pornhub, except
Ew.
a little more shadier.
Okay.
Find Kermit porn on there a lot easier.
I was finding Miss Piggy getting lit up.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't need to know that.
What? That's the thing. Yeah, that's a type of porn.
Is it really?
The super built chicks like
Oh,
that?
super built chicks, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a niche group of guys who are really, really, really into built chicks.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a group of guys who are into that. You know, like I said in the previous podcast, you know, 100 of them. We've got to talk about
There's
overlapping.
multiples of 'em.
There's gonna be overlapping, but I think there's a niche for everybody, right? Whenever we talked about like, oh, do you think there's guys that are into this? There's got to
Yes.
be one.
Yeah,
There's got to
yeah,
be
for
one,
everything.
right? There's got to be one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's guys that are into that, but that's just not my thing. Doesn't mean that you know, there isn't somebody out there for you.
So there you
But
go.
the more nichey that you are about something, just be aware that you're gonna have to work a lot harder to find somebody that really
Find
wants
that
that. Yeah.
Specific.
So
thing.
don't be super picky and shit.
See, that's why I'm not picky. I'm just like, yeah, whatever you're into.
We're pretty good, dude. We're just
Alright.
keep it going.
Good.
Any other questions from your female?
That was it.
That's it. Yeah, I also don't think that trying to tie down a dude is a good idea. Because you got to look at that long term, and ultimately, like, that's not set up to work right. Like, it's set up to fail, because you don't have a good.
You're
basis.
manipulating a man into marrying you.
Right.
I
It's
feel like this
set up to
specific
fail.
friend is great at manipulating.
All right, I got a question for the women, and since you're the representative of the female species,
What's that, VGs?
You're gonna answer this for me. So
Girl
okay.
gang.
So do you think? Let's ask this. So this stems from me watching that show Californication, and I think that dude is like so relaxed and cool with just his abilities and his sexuality, where he's just like he acts like he's stoned, like he's just super relaxed, right? But I was thinking, I'm like, what if the roles were reversed? What if the guy was super giddy when a girl was gonna give him some play, right? Do you think that'd be a turnoff if like you're with a dude and you guys are about to hook up? And then let's say like he undoes your bra and he sees your boobs and he's like, oh my god, your
I've
boobs
had
are
that
stunning.
before, though.
Was that a turn off? Did that kill the mood?
No, it just. I mean, I've
Dude,
had
look
this.
at you can't even say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like dried up.
No,
Dried
no,
in the
no, no.
desert.
Because I think it was in the moment and because it was the first time too.
He's like boobs. They don't
No,
feel
because
like
the way that
sandbags.
this
The movie was
person did
wrong.
this thing, he used one hand, and I didn't think he'd get it on the first try, and he just snapped something, and it worked, and I was just like, oh my God. So it took me back, and he was like, I'm like, what?
He's like, I've been practicing it on pillows.
It was just really funny.
So I used
grabbed-
all my mom's
funny.
bras.
Got my mom's bras and put them on some pillows.
I practice for you.
So what do you think about that? Like,
I think it's
does that kill it for you? If a guy's
No.
super like unconfident about it,
unconfident about it.
like he's kind of like timid and shy and like awkward.
It depends on the situation. But no, it wouldn't turn me off. I'd still get at it.
You're like, I'm already here.
I'd still jump that thing.
Huckleberry Hound's wet. Gotta
Climb that ladder.
Gotta feed the hound.
feed the hound.
Smash that D. Yeah.
Wow,
I
smash
would still
that V.
do
That's
that.
a new one.
That's a new one.
That might be a shirt too.
Yeah, you put the letter V in capitals,
And then
And
a
then you
guy
put,
with
like-
a hammer.
like an Acme 2,000-pound weight coming down on it,
Okay.
and you put the lines that indicate speed of the weight.
I was gonna say a guy with a hammer, or just a hammer getting ready to smash the V.
That too. That could work.
You pick. You girls. All you girls pick.
Or
It's,
you,
it's
if you
your.
want to keep it
it's
Looney
your,
Tunes,
It's your V. You, gotta
get
decide.
like that little Tweety bird dropping the hammer on the V.
Nah, I think what's unattractive is if the dude is too much into himself and like checking himself out like in a mirror.
Oh, like American Psycho.
Yeah, I've had that happen too, and it's just like, like what the fuck are we even doing?
Damn, John. That's why nobody likes.
Damn it, man! I wish I would have said something. Damn it! Oh,
Yeah, I've just been on this
I'm over
earth
here like
31
flexing
years.
and shit. I'm
Nobody
like
likes
double
me.
bicep at the same time. I'm like tricep pose right as I'm
no,
trying to
because
put the
then-
leg up on
no,
the
no,
countertop.
because what goes through a girl's mind is like, oh, you checking yourself out, banging a chick. I'm like,
I'm all,
you're
you like
so
that?
into yourself.
I'm like,
This is
yeah,
so
look at my lats
gross.
though.
You're like, yeah.
Look
you
at my
like
lats.
that? You like that? Yeah. Like, yeah, I do. What? Shut up. Like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's not cute. It's not cute. That and to what else? Was
Okay,
there?
but how do you know, in that guy's defense, how do you know that he's not checking you out, checking him out?
No, there's a big difference.
He's like flexing. He's like, yeah,
There's
you
a
go,
big
dog.
difference. No, there's a big difference because you can see where their eyes are. And if the dude's looking at himself like, yeah, you're like, yeah, okay, sure, I guess. And yeah, that's not cute.
Hmm.
I'm wondering
But
if
I
I've done I'm like, ignore the fact that I put a mirror on my roof. That's for no reason at all.
Oh, shit.
That's for you.
No,
That's all for you.
I had an ex that had mirrors on the back of the bed, like all the way.
Fuck, that
on the
dude had a
back.
scene from Enter the Dragon in
And
his
on
fucking
the
room.
side. No, it was on the back of the bed, on the side of the bed. So it was very.
That's gonna be the fucking Photoshop. It's gonna be Enter the Dragon. Have you seen that? I know you.
No, I haven't. Okay, their laughs are.
I know you're like 12, and you probably haven't seen that movie. But have you seen Enter the Dragon?
No.
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
1980s like a Bruce Lee movie, arguably one of his best. And at the very end of the movie, he's about to take on the main bad guy, and they go into a room that's all mirrors, and there's mirrors like a fun house that are shifting and moving.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to find the guy. He's trying to attack him, but he's like in a different corner because the mirrors are all reflecting him.
Okay.
It's a really, really good movie if you're into old movies. But that's why it's so funny because I'm like, it's a fucking Enter the
If he had
Dragon
a whole
scene.
wall of that.
No.
Trying to fight enemies
No.
and shit.
So
Trying to find himself.
I'm gonna reel this back a little bit.
Sorry. That's gonna be
It's
the
fine.
Photoshop.
No, I'll say
I'm
like
ready-
that's
I'm ready
not
to go.
that's not cute when a guy is too much into himself or the too sentimental one.
Ooh, like a guy cries after sex?
Yeah.
Have you had that happen?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What do you say? He's like,
what did he say?
I don't want to.
It's so
He was like,
nice.
"Oh man, that was."
I mean, I think it was like the second time I slept with this person, maybe.
was it because he had such a thing for you?
Yeah.
Or if his orgasm was so strong that he was
no,
like crying about it?
because this person like dropped the "I love you," and I'm just like,
Oh.
ugh.
That's never good, right? Like after sex to drop the I love you?
No.
Because that means you got too into the feeling maybe?
Well, I think especially in this case, this person wasn't very experienced, and then you're experienced and you're just doing it because you would just need to get one out.
Did you pick from the Vine Mystery Girl? Did
I
you pick it like
did.
straight off the vine? It was still green and shit.
I did.
You didn't even let it drop by nature's
Nope.
own time schedule.
Anyways.
You just fucking picked it from the vine.
But then I did something wrong and I shouldn't have done this, and I learned from this lesson.
You're like, Namekian, get
I
it
said
together.
it back. I'm like, yeah, love you too.
Oh.
Even though I took a minute, and he's like,
You
so what
fucked
do you
up.
think? I mean, like, and that's fucking gross. I don't like it when people do that, where you're just like, they say like, oh, I love you or whatever, and they're trying to be all emotional, and then you're like, so are you going to say it back and you're just like, yeah, love you too. And you're just like, oh my God.
You should have been like, no, get the fuck out.
No, because you know what went through my brain is like, I thought about it because I'm like, well, I don't love you. Like, I'm just here for this, and this is it. And I don't see anything going anywhere with you.
Been like, I'm just trying to smash this V.
No, and it's really bad, too, because, anyways, that thing ended bad. But, yeah, never lie to a person.
Just trying to get this
good.
V smashed. Like, get the fuck out of your house.
Yeah, it was bad. And it felt really bad because it made me feel masculine. Because I'm like, oh, shit.
There you go. I didn't think about that.
Because now I'm thinking, like, oh, you're really girly and you fell in love with me because you got the V, and here I am not really.
Hey, man, you should take that as a compliment.
Who?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Freaking fire.
No, because it's weird. It's weird having a guy be really, like,
Fire.
be
You get a
first,
5-star.
man.
That's like a 5-star rating.
No, because it's just like, I don't know.
Somewhere, if this was Yelp, you'd get that 5-star rating. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
If this was what is it? What's that one where you book hotels?
Orbits? Hotels.com?
Yeah, hotels.com. You get
Expedia.
5-star. Expedia. There you go. 5-star rating.
No, it wasn't good, man. Like, it made my heart sad. So that's kind of why I said it back, because I didn't want to, like, ruin this person's first time. And
Oh, it was his first time?
yeah.
Oh.
But anyways, not my
There you go. You
first
should
go
be-
around.
you should be like,
Dude,
I'm just like,
there's guys who are
shit.
into the
He's
idea.
crying, and I'm here like just stiff as a board on the bed.
You're like, I
like,
gotta
trying
go.
to get my pants on. I'm like, I gotta go.
It's like a scene from fucking Sex in the City where girls are trying to sneak out while the guy's still asleep and shit.
God, man. No, this dude came over to my house.
Oh.
He's in my
You're like, get
house,
the
in my
fuck out.
bed.
Yeah, you should be like, get the fuck out.
You're like,
Well,
I gotta get some sleep
take
for
this
work
bed
tomorrow.
with you too. I don't want to.
Dude, it was bad. It was bad. I'm like over here like trying to slide my pants up, and he's crying, and I'm like, do you want a tissue? Do you want some food?
Do you want a tissue?
But at this point, like, you know,
Like, do you
and,
want some ice cream, you bitch?
big bitch.
but I had, you know, but you want to be sensitive to people with their, especially the first time, because you don't want to like ruin the moment
Do you
for
want to
them.
put the notebook on, you bitch?
Fuck.
You are not Noah. You're the airplane pilot. That's who you are.
Ah.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think there's certain guys that get off on fucking flowers, dude. Everywhere we go, we need a bunker so we don't have any noises. There's certain guys that get off on like taking girls' V cards or whatever. Like, to me, it's almost the opposite. Like, I'd rather not.
Cause the cling.
They cling, and then it's also like way more responsibility.
Cause then they're like, you're my first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Like, that's true. Like, girls, I don't think ever forget their first.
No, we don't.
And, I mean, I guess guys don't either. But at the same time, like, I think it means much more to a woman.
Yep.
With that being said, I think also it's not as pleasurable for women the first time around. So it's also not as, like... It's not as, like, you could just relax. Like, you have to kind of take it easy. And then after a while, it feels good from what I hear. Like, it's not like... It's not like fucking just having sex normally with some random stranger who's already had sex before. So, I don't know. I'm not into that thing, but guys are definitely into that thing. I think guys need to think twice about that shit.
Or women need to think twice about that shit, too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect that from this kind of
Dude?
person. Yeah, because you think these big, giant
This
dudes
big
are
boy
like...
you slept with? From this man-child that you slept with?
Yeah.
This fucking banana you picked while it was green?
All right. I didn't
Fucking
know.
Strawberries are still green and shit. You picked it right off the vine.
No, I guess and it sucks because this person, I took every card he had.
Oh.
He never
Did you
kissed a
pick it
girl.
right from the vine?
Ripe. Yeah.
Like you.
Never kiss a girl. I'm like, you never kiss a girl. I'm like, shit.
That dude's probably still swooning over you. He's probably your stalker from this podcast. It's probably him.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably like, she kissed me. She talked about me on the podcast. That means she loves me.
No, I don't. You can go die.
Jesus.
Damn.
Just kidding.
Jesus. What?
Jesus. Yeah, no. It's bad. No, but I think that's pretty unattractive. If a male cries and you're not even on an emotional level with them, you're just kind of like banging one out with them and they do that, it's uncomfortable. Because you're like, please stop crying. You're making me uncomfortable.
What if I start crying and then you're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm just crying because I know I just murdered this pussy. And I cover it. Would that have made it better?
Okay, let me try to put myself in this scenario. If that happened and they said that, I would probably dead sock you in the arm and say you're an asshole and get up and put my pants on and leave.
Dead sock you in the pants?
Dead sock you in the arm.
In the arm, okay.
So then would you text me back the next morning and be like, okay, I need some more of that? Or you'd be like, nah, I'm never talking to this shit again.
Nah. It's I don't know. It depends on the night, I suppose.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I think that's a rough situation there, little one. That's a rough one, because that guy responded very strongly to your situation. Like for him to cry and then tell you he loves. Wait, did he cry first and then tell you he loved you, and he tell you he loved you and then he cried?
He came. He started crying.
Like right after,
like
or during his
actually,
his
you know
rope
what?
shoots,
No, he
shots?
didn't come. No. I lie.
You're like, I just let him.
No, I
go
don't know
down on
how
me for
much you
95
guys want to
minutes.
know this story. It's a pretty.
It's sounding more and more like a lesbian experience.
So finally, after a certain amount of time, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I can't. So we stopped, and then he started crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's probably embarrassed. I'm sorry, but it's been a couple of time, and I can't anymore.
Yeah, you had a lesbian experience is what you had.
And then he started crying. He's like, I just, anyway. But yeah.
Ugh.
Wow, your first lesbian experience was a weird one, man. It's crazy.
Was she a butchy one or a lipstick
Yeah.
one?
He was 6'7". He was a big dude.
So
I thought you were about to say he had a big member. I was like, damn, just letting know what's up, huh?
I was like 6'7". I can match that.
Like
Yeah.
6'7",
He's a big
roughly
guy.
8 to 12. What?
Well,
What?
we were like a 1.5 foot difference.
Yeah, that dude's probably
I
like.
came up to his belly button.
Yeah, I'm sure he came up to your belly button too.
Oh.
If you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to. You left it open. Anyways, yeah, that's a rough one.
Are you literally scrolling through Instagram right now?
I am scrolling through Enter the Dragon pictures because I'm trying to look for the fucking thumbnail. I can't believe you haven't seen this movie. It's a classic. Like if you ever saw.
You know what? I'm totally sorry. I'm totally backtracking on your conversation because no, I've never saw your old school movies. I'm 12 years old, remember?
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you guys. So is it weird when a girl cries? I feel like that's
Yes.
more normal. Shut up.
After sex
Oh.
or in general?
Yeah, say in
General.
general? No.
It's not weird when they cry, but
You're
it's like,
just
do you
like,
have a reason for crying? Is there a
guess-
reason for
I
crying?
guess, yeah.
Or are you just like hyper emotional?
Probably hyper emotional.
See, to
I
me,
mean,
it's just
some,
like, well, what's
yeah,
going on?
some hoes are just.
Okay,
really
but it doesn't make
emotional.
it doesn't make you kind of. Okay, I've had a couple dudes cry in front of me, and I don't know how to react
Couple
sometimes.
dudes.
God dang.
Damn.
How are you? Are you
How
destroying
many
these
emotional
men?
hoes do you know?
It's because you know what it is, dude? You know what it is? it's because dudes come in there with like thinking, yeah, my dick's like the Hulk. I'm gonna smash that V, and then all of a sudden she turns it back on them.
She's like,
she turns it back on them, and their Hulks go back to Bruce Banner,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh man.
yeah, they're like, how was that? How was that? She's like, mediocre.
it wasn't that great. I've had better.
I've
I've
had
had
better.
better.
This
I've had stronger orgasms.
this cucumber's done better.
Stronger orgasms flicking
it was
the
cold.
Or a
blood
pen,
or the
You know.
Oh wow.
the fucking Huckleberry Hound.
Yeah.
I
pretty
mean,
much.
you know, a pen cap could do it.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies, get your pen caps out.
Get your pens ready, ladies.
Get your pens, like
New
get that-
shirt. Get your pen caps out.
Get your pen out. Click that pen.
Click that.
Get that.
Shut your office
No,
door, girl.
This car's gonna shoot us for sure.
Looks that way.
Too funny.
Yeah.
No, it's not weird. I think it's weird if it's like the first time we're just encountering anything sexual and you start crying. I'm like, oh, why are you doing
I mean-
this to me? I don't know you that well. I don't know you that well.
Girls crying isn't too weird.
I think
does-
guys accept it.
Yeah, girls
Eh.
are
it's
just
like,
more
oh,
emotional.
Yeah,
like-
they're more emotional.
Like the girl I cheated on.
Dude, I thought
my
you were gonna say
girlfriend
something completely different. You started that sentence weirdly, like that
The
girl
girl
I
I-
ate. I was like, what?
I was
No.
gonna say the girl I came on. I'm like,
I was
oh,
like,
okay.
whoa. I was like, damn, Ruben, why are you not telling these stories? Like over here having me tell all kinds of shit.
The girl I cheated on my girlfriend with.
Jeez.
She
Oh,
was
jeez.
always crying for everything. But
That's
she's
a-
just
that's a
super.
red flag, dog. But
She's
you like
just
that
super.
shit.
She's super emotional.
But okay,
She's like,
for
"Oh,
a girl to
this
cry about
kid's famous."
every little thing, it gets fucking old, and you're
She's
just
like,
like,
"Oh, this
dude,
kid's
like I don't want to hang
famous.
out with you. You're too
Oh,
sad.
this movie
can't
makes
have
me
fun.
sad. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to pay my rent. I'm
So I'm
like,
gonna cry
oh,
about
that
that.
sucks for you. You should probably tell your man about that. Oh,
So I have a question then.
my man's at work. He leaves me here all the time. I'm like, yes, that means your house is empty. I better get over there then.
Keep
You know,
safe.
stuff like that. Keep you safe. You know, stuff like that. Just all the time. But I mean, that's just how some chicks are.
Okay. So I don't know where this thought jumped back in my head, but let's hear about you banging a board. I'm curious.
A what?
A board.
Oh, that's right. Oh, fuck. I forgot about it already.
I think your mic's really low, sir.
My bad. I'm sorry. I forgot about it already. I'm getting in that Deadpool position. I'm getting comfortable now. That coffee did nothing for me. So there was a girl once.
Oh, you did.
It's empty. No, it's empty. There was a girl I hooked up with once that, and we might need to end it.
Girlfriend just took up.
One could argue any of it. So, anyways, there's this girl
Could argue that.
there's this girl I was hooking up with once, and she was not the most blessed in the butt area. And have I not told this story in the past in the podcast?
You've
No.
never told this story.
Okay, so I remember there are certain things like I did not enjoy. Like
I
I
like
did-
her face and
like-
how she looked.
that's rude. I did
personality.
not enjoy during
Her
coitus.
butch ass haircut.
I did not. Wow, you got a
Wait,
list,
you
dog.
gotta set this up a little bit more.
No, you don't.
I need a little bit of backstory.
No, you
So
don't.
this is-
Because I like to picture it a little bit more than just like, yeah, I boned this couch and it was great. Like,
I
okay, but
boned
what
this
color
couch?
was the
Jeez.
couch? Go ahead.
We hooked up a couple times. In fact, yeah, we hooked up a couple times. In fact, some of the stories that we've told, I think, in the past in this podcast might have involved the same girl. But I do remember that, like, we would hook up, and I do remember certain things I would definitely stir the conversation towards something else.
Like what?
So, like, if she was, like, doggy style, I've never been a huge doggy style guy. Just putting it out there. I'm just not. I'll do it, but I'm not like, that's my to-do thing. Like, some dudes are super into that shit.
The hand movement you gave.
Yeah, like the
Way to
fists.
go.
Yeah, like that's not. I'll do it, and it's fun, but it's also not like my number one, right? That's not like my. I gots to have this every time, right? Like some
Okay.
dudes are fucking into it, but with her specifically, I did not enjoy it too much. Because every time I would give some rough thrusts, and by rough I mean with some substance, some power behind the
Because you're a
thrust.
goddamn man,
Because
right?
I'm a goddamn, man, and I deadlift heavy. And when you're simulating like a sumo deadlift, it's almost like the same thing. Just pretend like you're gripping the waist and you're just like you're just flexing your glutes into it. It's the same thing. It's some fucking powerful thrust. And I could deadlift a good 4, maybe 5 plates on a good day.
Damn.
I'm just saying, you about to go through a drywall.
You're a goddamn man, right?
I'm like, goddamn, that's right, dog. God, after 100 podcasts, you've learned this.
That's right.
Good job. So, you drop a couple strong thrusts, and you feel like pelvic bones digging into your groin.
You mean ass bones?
Ass bones is probably a better way of putting it. Digging into your groin. That's not fun, man. Like you don't. It's never fun if you've had sex the next day. At least in my experience, it hasn't been. And you you're like, why is my stomach hurt? Do I have a hernia? And then you're just like, oh no, I'm bruised from the fucking ass bones.
So sad.
Yeah, and you know what was even worse? Like when she would grind on me. Like she'd be on top and she'd be like grinding. And then it's just like that same like butt bones or sometimes like fucking just dig into me. And I'm just kind of like, I wonder if I can hold her levitated while this is going down. I don't want to be rude.
So moral of the story is John took one for the team because somebody had to do it. He didn't enjoy any of it, but he had to take one for the team.
Every once in a while, you got to do some things you don't like.
Yeah, but you didn't even stop it and be like, yo.
I would switch
He
positions.
had to take one for the team. He had to take one for all mankind.
Exactly. Also, how fucked up would it have been if I made her super self-conscious about her body?
I don't think that would be self-conscious. You could have been like, oh shit, what time is it? Fuck, I have to go. I've got this thing. I gotta go. I'm late.
That was back in the day. We didn't have shit to do.
We didn't have shit to do. That.
Or you could have been like, yeah, so this is just not working for me. I'll hit you up next week. I gotta go.
See, for you, that's nice and like that makes sense now, right? Because you're independent, you're doing your own thing. But there was a circle that we were around. There were still school people. We knew each other. Okay. You're gonna see this person again. Like right now, if Mr. Cryman came back around, you could easily be like, "I'll never see you again" because we're not gonna hang in these circles, right? Versus like if you're going to school with somebody or you see them on a regular basis and you can't avoid them, then it makes things awkward.
That is true. Okay, I see where you're
so
saying.
I was trying to be a gentleman and a scholar.
Damn, was these ass bones like popping out of the hip? Like were you like
they were it was one of those like hidden ones
going on? You saw the rotator cuff and everything?
What are you nodding at, dog? Like you were there?
You're like, yeah.
The camera?
Yes. It was bad. It was that bad.
I was behind that bear.
Oh. He's like, I couldn't get good camera angles. I had to pretend to be the bear.
I couldn't even touch myself. This was terrible.
Oh. Have you seen that video, by the way, where it's like it's a camera hidden in the corner of a room, and there's this giant bear, and the boyfriend like takes all the stuffing out, and he goes inside the bear.
I've seen that.
And then the girl walks in, and he like scares her, and she's fucking scared as shit.
Yeah.
To me, I'd be kind of cuddly. I'd be like, oh, that's a cute bear, or I just fucking kick the motherfucker.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's a huge bear. That's what she said. Anyways, that's my story. It does happen to guys.
Was the last time this happened? Were you happy it was the last time? Because then like now you don't have to have bruises on your hips and stuff, dude. Yeah, okay, but yeah.
I suppose, but you know what, man? There's no way of winning that scenario with a girl. Because I will say this way. You phrased it and you're like, well, why don't you just stop it, right? Why don't you just stop it, right? So I did. I did just stop it. But because we were in the same circles and we see each other, she got a little crazy. She got a little crazy, and then instantly you women go to like, well, why isn't he fucking me anymore? Oh, is he seeing another girl? He must be seeing another girl. And then it's like, oh, all of a sudden, this motherfucker must be fucking around on me, and I'm just kind of like, were we dating? Anyways, we'll just stop it there. I don't want to talk about this anymore. No, but seriously, like, ultimately, like, it's a lose-lose situation for guys. Because girls instantly are like, he must be fucking someone else, and that's why he doesn't want to fuck me anymore.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, go ahead. Defend your species. Go ahead.
I would rather have a guy tell me that he doesn't like my sex Because then it'd give me a chance. I'm dead
You
fucking
think so?
serious.
I think
dead
you're-
fucking serious.
I think
And
you're
no,
outside
no,
of the
no,
norm.
No, but you know what? Here's the thing, though. I'd rather have the blunt force trauma so I could just stop the bleeding there and just be like, fuck this, then I'm done.
I don't know, because you know what?
Maybe you just get to an age where you're just done fucking around.
Maybe, but I
I'm-
also would feel bad if I gave that girl some weird like schism about her body.
Yeah, but you know what? That's her problem, and she'll have to fucking get over it. And it
Yeah.
may be a hurdle, and you're only coddling the problem.
I suppose, but then there's
Then
some
she
people
could
that
have been like, you know
some
what? I'm
people
gonna
are-
have the fattest ass in the world, and he's
Maybe.
gonna look at this juicy ass in the future, and then you could have been the catalyst to that.
Yeah, you're right.
And
or
then coddling
she
her,
would have
now
been.
she's just way more flatter.
that-
You just don't know.
But see, that's the problem. It's a flip of a coin whether it turns into you're the motivation to her getting the greatest ass in the world, or you're also the motivation for her committing suicide. Do you know what I mean? It's a 50-50 chance, and I'd rather not just deal with it at all. I'd rather risk
That's some
her.
pussy shit.
No, I'd rather not help her get the greatest
Honesty
ass
is
ever
the be-
instead of hearing like, hey, this person committed suicide.
So
I wonder why.
You would just
Like,
let a
damn
girl
it.
down
That dick
gently
was
by
too
just
good.
being
I
like,
should have pulled it back. What?
I'm just never gonna do this again.
That's what I always tell you to do.
Ruben's like, stop giving away that A1 and start giving away like C3.
No.
Because that because that way they're
Then
not like,
girls wouldn't want your dick, and you'd be like,
dude, that's what Splinter Cell says.
bye.
He's just kind of like, he's like, I'm just
You
trying to get
half-assed your
mine.
last one.
Huh?
Like, if you sleep with a girl for the last time, you just kind of half-ass it. You're just like, oh, yeah.
You're like, oh.
And the girl's like,
one stroke
oh,
in.
why the fuck did I even come here?
You're like, I don't know.
I'm just going to have to show my eyes. And the guy's like, yep. This is fucking great. And it just makes the girl, like, hate her life. Every stroke of it.
Well, I've talked about
And
have
then
I
girls will never want your dick again. Then there you go, problem solved. You're
just like
you're the
girls-
problem.
But just like girls fake it, guys can fake it too. I've talked about that in the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I faked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I gotta have a list of things I've talked about because I forget. It's been 100 hours of content.
It's easier for a girl to know if a guy's faked it, depending on the position.
No. If you're about that pie life, you'll never know. Oh, if you're about that pie life, you'll know. If you're not about that pie life and you're wearing a condom, you'll never know.
That's not true, actually.
Well, I
Well, it
managed to
depends
pull it
on how
off
fast the guy gets up
successfully,
from
so.
the bed.
Oh, mic drop. I did it successfully. Why? Well, you think you can figure it out, super sleuth?
I think if a guy is still on the
Detective
bed with his
Gadget?
condom on, yeah, you can see like
No,
an
I mean,
amount in the condom. Yes, you can.
no, I know you can see it, but what do you like in
I
fucking
said,
full
what, he
spotlights?
took it off. He was like, hey,
like full.
like this.
Take a look at it. Is that a normal amount? Is this a normal amount for a guy? You think I should be?
This is a teaspoon.
Yeah, well, it's almost impossible to know.
Mine's a tablespoon, bro.
It's almost impossible to know if a girl's came. That's a fun one.
That's a bullshit. It's a slip and slide situation going on. You
Nee.
know what I'm saying? If all of a sudden there's
Sounds
less
like
friction,
I got no problem
I
with
got no
that.
problem with that,
I
bro.
don't know what that problem is.
if it's all of a sudden, you got less friction. There's some good stuff going on. Well, what was that one joke you told me one time where it's just like, where you were like, oh, mom, what did you say? It was a joke you told me where you're like, and by the way, Mystery Girl told me this. I'm not looking at Ruben. Mystery Girl once told me this joke, and she was just like, a little kid goes up to his mom, and she's like, "Mom, do you know what good sex sounds like?" And then the mom's like, "What?" And then he like, I guess, opens up a bottle of peanut butter, and he's just like whipping it in there. It's all that.
Oh my god. Oh,
That was a
That's
joke Mystery Girl told me.
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Where'd you hear that one from?
My pussy? Just
What?
kidding.
What?
Just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
You should be a comedian, Missy.
I've thought about it
I
now.
can't believe Bang Energy hired you.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Terrible.
Ah.
Bang,
Speaking of-
bang.
Speaking of Bang, we want to thank our sponsor, Bang Energy, for sponsoring
Bang,
podcast
bang.
number 100.
Bang, bang, 100.
Get your Bang on. Use discount code Monday's Locker Room Talk. Get 10% off one can.
Damn, one can.
Hey, man, it's not a big sponsor.
Use code Tito.
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 And
Because
get-
obviously machines can't use tit for
Oh.
Oh.
She tried
Skins.
putting her name. You know how I always put
I was
Dr.
trying
O
to put tit.
on Buck Hunter game? She was trying to put tit. and didn't let her. Like it doesn't let you put tit.
Really?
Yeah, nope. She had petito. Because the buck hunting game doesn't let you put your name in as tit.
It's good. It's good.
I guess all the cuss words are probably blanked out. Hey, by the way, I got number 1 on that. What's that digging game where you have a little guy that
Dig
digs?
Dug.
Dig Dug. I'm number 1, dog.
There you go.
14,900 something.
There you go.
I don't want to sply on.
Oh yeah, no, you were at like 14,000. Oh, did you say
14,000?
14,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
It's
got on
killing the
there. I
game.
got to like 2,000
Yeah.
Killing the game.
with a bunch of little teenage girls on Molly next to us, laying on each other. It was weird.
It was weird. I was like, what's wrong with these girls?
Molly. That's hilarious.
Well, she said they were like touching each other.
They
Like
were touching each
it was
other.
weird.
Like
Yeah,
petting each
yeah.
other's hair. It was
I was too busy
really
trying to
do
kill
that.
that game.
And they were looking at us, and I kept looking at them. They smile and
Should've
just
been
stare at us. And I'm
She'd be
like,
like, hey.
do you guys want to do a 5-some or something?
She'd be like, hey.
5 some, Jesus.
She'd be like, hey, you guys see the devil yet?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Just spiral, have them spiral out.
Yeah.
No, that's bad.
Did you know they're aliens? They're replacing humans as reptiles.
Aliens are actually demons.
Dude, that's what Wilson was telling me. Wilson got deep in that shit with me when I was getting tattoo work done. He got deep into it.
Where I heard that somewhere else.
I think that's the big thing
Where?
right now.
Aliens are demons.
That's the big thing right now, supposedly, because it's they're saying that like aliens aren't necessarily from other planets or from other dimensions. They're demons from another dimension.
Dimensions.
Yeah,
Here.
Wilson
They're
got
still here.
deep into that shit with me. I was like,
I
God
believe
damn,
that.
son, you're making
I
this
think that.
tattoo experience very dark for me. I was
Dude,
like,
you need
put
to
friends
find-
back on.
You need to find somebody around here who can finish that shit up. I don't think you need to go back over there.
I'm trying to get this shit done. I'm like, yo, dog, this is getting kind of dark. Can you put friends back on? I want to see if Ross can get back
You're
with
like,
Rachel.
ha ha ha. That's great. Was Rachel turning 30?
I was like, where's Rachel?
What was that? Episode 3?
Who's Ross dating now?
I want to see how this ends.
Yeah, it's dark. Well, any other things you guys want to talk about? We gave the listeners an extra magnum podcast for number 100. We're at extra magnum levels now, dude.
What
What's the
time is
longest
it?
we've ever done? What's the longest podcast we've ever done?
2 hours.
2? What the fuck
Was
were we
it
doing for
2?
2 hours?
Maybe.
I thought it was like an hour and a half at least.
I think we did 2 hours with Eric, but we
you know
split
what?
it.
No, Ralph and his wife,
Cynthia.
Cynthia. No, I meant to call him Boski. Sorry.
Oh, whatever. He doesn't care.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's on a social media.
That was 2 hours.
That was 2 hours?
That was 2 hours. She had to break it up into 2 different podcasts.
Oh, but we've never done a single episode that was that long, right? The
No.
most we've ever done is like 110. We're giving you guys the extra magnum today. We're giving you guys the BBC of podcasts. You know, of our podcast, because Rogan does 3 hours.
Jesus.
You know
Next
what I'm saying?
podcast, we're going to talk about how demons are aliens, or aliens are
Nah,
demons.
I think we're good without that.
It's just some dark shit, dog. But anyways, that's it. Once again, I want to thank sponsor Bang Energy Drink.
Bang,
Man,
Get
we
your
can get the email made.
get your bang on.
Bang.
I will, Ruben, if Ruben, look, this is the real test. If Ruben is a slacker, there will not be any email on the bottom of the
Yeah,
subject
We
description.
will get it.
If he is
I'm
not
gonna
a
talk to
slacker
Mystery
and
Girl.
he's a goddamn man,
We're
then
gonna
I
get
will
it
have an
figured out.
email down below
It's gonna
and
be
we'll
like
figure it out next week. See if
Hose
he's a man or not.
ask questions at Monday's Locker Room Talk.
You don't want
Something
to
like
hose
that.
ask questions. You want something like mystery girl. I would say mystery girl like at yahoo.com, but that's going to be taken. You got to get like,
Oh, Mystery Girl's DMs.
Slide up in my DMs.
that's kind of good. I don't mind that. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
figure it
you're
out because you got to
welcome.
figure out if it's taken or not.
Yeah, I'll play with it.
Dude, Boski has a Ymail account. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck is
I have a
that?
Gmail.
Ymail apparently
Okay.
is like Yahoo,
Yahoo
running out of Yahoo at yahoo.com, so it's now at
Fucking
Ymail.
tell them to get WizWeb. We're still available.
Oh shit.
Tell them to go to our website, our original
Podbean.
website.
Tell them to get a Podbean
Give it to
email.
fucking Podbean.
Shit. Anyways, once
Shout
again,
out to WizWeb for holding our original website.
Yeah, no
back in the
shit.
day. Shout out 2007.
dude, probably older than that. Throwback podcast once again Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Check back on iTunes. Monday's Locker Room Talk on iTunes. Or if you're really super proactive, you can just type in Monday's Locker Room Talk.podbean.com. It's that simple. I've already memorized the shit. I have to type it so many times on my Instagram that it's up in the dome now. It's up in the dome. Taking a valuable hard drive space next to Bony Ass's Podbean.com account.
Is that what it is?
It's in the box right next to it.
You can delete
Dude,
some
that
of
was
stuff,
back
man.
in your far archives.
That was in
Ruben
my
had to-
archives.
had to pull that fucking.
Yeah, that was back there.
Pull
I had
that out.
I had to have an old man pull the box from like the back where the lights are already out, and he had to bring it to
yeah.
the front and be like,
That's
"Oh, there's the
funny.
box."
Poor
We had that
girls.
taped with black
Hopefully
tape for
they
some
don't
reason.
listen to this because that would hurt.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I can think of some that would maybe listen to it, but I think they would listen to 2 minutes of it and they'd be like, "These misogynist pig!
All
Can't
of them.
believe I ever let this guy blankety blank 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 blank."
All up
And then-
inside
Let
me.
him come inside my fucking pussy.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow, okay.
descriptive.
But yeah.
Man.
And then the second part is gonna be like, can't believe those two motherfuckers still friends.
Probably. I always fucking hated that guy.
I always fucking hated that one.
That's possible. You never know.
And
Women,
then by that guy, they're gonna be like, it's interchangeable. Which one of us I hated?
probably.
It's very interchangeable.
That's so sad.
Hey, we knew.
Way to end on a negative note.
Not negative.
This is not negative.
Fudge.
We're very happy people. I don't know why people don't.
Dude,
like
I'm
us.
super happy.
I'm super happy.
I'm destroying people in arcade machines. They should just name that machine after
Okay,
me.
next week we're gonna do this from that
Dude,
spot.
next week when we get these cards in, y'all better be scared
Get ready.
because we're gonna go and
Mr.
drop
Girl's
like
coming
$100
along.
bill,
Invite
And
5
we're-
friends, Mr. Girl, because we're gonna.
and we're just gonna run the machine. Run the
Okay.
machine. Just constantly run the machine. I'm gonna come out of there with like an
May not
800
be
horsepower
next
car
week, but
one day. Anyways, that's it, ladies and gents. Once again, if you like this shit, share it with people. Let people know what's up. Ladies, share with your other ladies, and give us some MFing questions. And like I'm censoring it now. And we'll see you guys next time. Go listen to Throwback Podcast. Any last words, Mystery Girl and/or Ruben?
100, 100.
Well, I don't get that reference.
Because
Your
we're on number
100th
podcast 100.
episode.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'll let your boy. Which one's the stop button? Oh, there it is.